Universal Design for Learning is a framework that aims to improve and optimize the learning and teaching experience for all people. And it's based on scientific insights into how we as humans learn. Its aim is to increase flexibility in the learning experience and remove the barriers towards learner engagement and achievement for all people. Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, aims to provide access to learning for an increasingly diverse range of learners. And it's based on the concept that we're all different. We learn differently. We have different personal circumstances, different backgrounds, different experience, different physical and cognitive strengths and abilities. UDL provides us with a lens to view our teaching practice and guidelines to inform how we reduce barriers and increase access for our learners. All learners learn differently, and therefore to teach all learners, we need to add flexibility into our learning designs. These UDL guidelines from CAST prompt educators to consider 3 core principles when designing learning experiences. To build in multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression. While these principles have been separated for ease of presentation, in reality they overlap and can be interlinked. Okay, so let's take a closer look. Everything starts with how learners engage with the learning experience. Barriers for engaging with learning differ. Individual variation can include aspects ranging from the neurological, cultural, personal relevance, subjectivity, lack of background knowledge, along with a variety of other factors. Some learners like to work alone, while others prefer to work with their peers. In reality, there isn't one means of engagement that will be optimal for all learners in all contexts. Therefore, providing multiple options for engagement is essential. You can work towards doing this by designing to recruit interest. This basically means if learners aren't interested, they won't be engaged. If they aren't engaged, they won't learn, which makes your learning experience essentially inaccessible. So you can think about optimizing individual choice and autonomy. Learning outcomes shouldn't change, however, there can be different paths for learners to achieve the same outcomes. Providing a variation of learner journey can help learners develop self-determination and increase their connection to the learning experience. You may also consider including the learners in the design of your learning activities and in goal setting to aid in their engagement and how they see relevance in the learning experience. Learners will only engage with experiences that they see as relevant to their interests or personal goals. Obviously, not all learners have the same interests or goals, so considerations can be made to provide a variety of interactions and messaging to try and connect with as many learners as possible. This may include attempts to relate to real-world situations, or learners' personal lives, or linking to socially or culturally relevant contexts. Also, learning outcomes should encourage learners to be active participants where relevant, include reflection and authentic, relevant assessment to achieve those learning outcomes. I believe taking steps to minimize threats and distractions is key to reducing barriers to learning. Safety in a learning experience tends not to be related to physical safety, rather psychological safety. Do your learners feel comfortable with each other? Can they speak their minds without fear of ridicule or repercussions? In relation to this, it's important to establish a learning community in which learners can get to know each other, communicate freely, and collaborate effectively to support each other. In relation to minimizing distractions, consideration can be given to how information is delivered to avoid cognitive overload. Learning as a process requires sustained attention and effort. It's not meant to be easy. A key goal of UDL is to support development of skills in self-regulation and self-determination that will help learners maximize learning opportunities. While it's important to design the learning environment so that it can support learner motivation and engagement, It's also important to develop learners' intrinsic ability to self-regulate, to approach their learning experience strategically and effectively, providing opportunities for learners to develop self-regulation skills through modelling, support, providing learner autonomy, and through reflection and feedback is recommended. All learners comprehend information in different ways, including but not limited to learners that may have physical or learning disabilities. All learners learn best when multiple representations of the information is used. Although there is no one way that will suit all learners, therefore a number of options for presenting the same information is key. To reduce barriers to learning, information should be presented in ways that can be interpreted by all learners. To do this, consider providing the same information using different modalities or by providing information that can be adjusted by the learner. For example, text that can be made larger or that can be read out loud, etc. The vocabulary and terminology that is used to deliver information is an important consideration, and it may provide clarity for some learners while not being understood and add confusion to other learners. An image that may provide some insight or meaning to one group of learners may be meaningless and confusing to another group. The image reference may also be culturally misplaced or targeted at the wrong audience. For clarity and comprehension, it's important to try and deliver the information in different ways. The purpose of education is to support learners to transform information into usable knowledge. Research in cognitive science has shown us that this requires active information processing. Learners have different abilities to do this, therefore our learning experiences need to include scaffolds to support and allow learners to access and process information. And finally, providing learners with multiple means of action and expression acknowledges that learners differ in the way that they can navigate learning content and express what they know. Barriers to education can occur when there are limited ways for learners to interact and navigate with learning content. Providing assistive technologies in these cases can help improve access. Learners will vary in their ability to express their understanding of content. For example, a dyslexic learner may struggle to complete an essay, but may be able to show understanding through creation of a story in a digital modality like a video. It's important to provide different ways that learners can show their understanding while still achieving the same learning outcome. Executive functions are a strategic skill set that allow people to maximize their environment and approaches to learning in our case. Executive functioning can be limited when learners are facing barriers or dealing with lower order thinking activities. Therefore, UDL aims to increase executive functioning capacity by encouraging learning experiences that are scaffolded to achieve higher order thinking. So I hope this video has been useful in providing an overview of the UDL principles from CAST, and more information can be found on their website. There may seem a lot to consider at this point, but in many cases affordances are already being made. And for me, an effective approach to incorporating UDL is to take just one or two elements and try to integrate them into your learning design and delivery, see how it goes, and then maybe add more for the next delivery.